have any questions after that.
You ever experienced where you plan out a whole lifetime with somebody
on YouTube,
and then life can take it too soon?
So you can
Now that story you planned out in your head feel like 9 missing pages. Look, read lyrics that you never ever spoke. Remember in the times we had to use before. Way back, it hurt me back that you was 21 years old. It wasn't no savage, this was like it's a joke. So why you talk about you as if you was never gone? The man in that box has got to be your clone. One shot to my niggas gone, and now my niggas gone. 2 shots still about to explode. Missing pages got me missing out on hope. Missing payments and young niggas steady broke. I'm missing my niggas turn into a ghost. Now they can't raise a toast, but for them we pour a dose. When you really close is when it really hurt the most. And when you really love someone, it's hard to let them go. You loved me with 2 seasons, you had to grow up open. Now she got some missing pages to your story, never wrote. How could you reach that? Won't do you no good, no matter how good. No, this a feeling I felt. I just wish my God broke and show his face. This is a story y'all wrote, and it's missing page. How could you reach that? Won't do you no good, no matter how good. So this a fairly I flow. I just wish all my focus show their face. This is a story y'all wrote. I'm just missing pages. In this day and age, and it's missing pages. Can't leave the house without it's missing pages. Shoulder. Got to stay on your P's and Q's. I said it's missing pages. 10 toes down. All with it. But look, I wonder if it feel nice when you grip tight on a 40 cal Smith & Wesson at the midnight. Point it to a nigga head, any nigga on sight. Open one eye, put it on sight. And just pull the trigger, kill another nigga. Another black statistic, now he's another victim. Kids and his mother miss him. His story never finished, this is just another sentence. Judge off of life and now you missing. Missing pages got me missing out on hope. Missing payments and young niggas steady broke. I'm missing my niggas hunting to a ghost. Now they can't raise a toast, but for them we pour up more. When you really close is when it really hurt the most. And when you really love someone, it's hard to let them go. You took another person like that you ain't even know, and now that person missing pages cause of hoe. How could you reach that? Won't do you no good, no matter how good, no. This a fairly I flow. I just wish my God broke and show his face. This is a story y'all wrote, and it's missing page. How could you reach that? Won't do you no good, no matter how good. So this a fairly I flow. I just wish all my focus show their face. This is a story y'all wrote, and it's missing page. How could you reach that? Won't do you no good, no matter how good, no. This a fairly I flow. I just wish my God broke and show his face. This is a story y'all wrote, and it's missing page. How could you reach that? Won't do you no good, no matter how good. So this a fairly I flow. I just wish all my focus show their face. This is a story y'all wrote, and it's missing page. Cops killing niggas. And it's missing page. Red little white folk killing niggas. How could you weed smoke? Won't do you no good. And niggas killing niggas. That don't make no sense. It's a story y'all wrote, and it's missing pages. I was in the same neighborhood. Beefing each other over a block. How could you weed smoke? Won't do you no good. Robbing each other. How could you weed smoke? Won't do you no good. This white man killed. How could you weed smoke? Won't do you no good. And it's so good. Hit the weed. They hope it pass by the next day.
Salam ya Rabbi.
Shit, it might not be good. Do you no good. They gotta sleep.
Yeah, but she was sorry.
It's time to wake up. Especially in Palm Beach. Straight up.
What's up? Hey, we live.
All right, Officer Tyrone, we can start the class now.
All right.
Come.
Tell me when you ready. Yeah, when y'all ready. All right.
Come on, we're ready to go.
All right. Hey, shalom. Y'all Shabbat Katam to all the brothers. Understand to all the black Hispanic Native Indian. You understand to all my strong man. You know what I mean? Y'all Shabbat Katam. To all the sisters, y'all Shema, Atam Bashim Yahushai. I'm priest officer 1000 out of y'all with the I.S.U.P.K, which is the Israelite School of Universal and Practical Knowledge. Understand? Started on 1 West, 125th Street, out in New York, on General YAHANNA. And you already know what we do in the I.S.U.P.K. In the I.S.U.P.K, what we teach is Black, Hispanic, and Native Indian. We are the 12 tribes of Israel. You understand? We are those people who was enslaved in Egypt. We are those, you understand, that was, you understand, in the gutter, in the deep down, and we still in the gutter today. You understand? And this is the top, and I mean who we are today. This is who we are today, and we're letting you know exactly, you know what I mean, we are today. And not only that, what we should do. Like everybody see we suffering today. Everybody see, you understand, we going, I mean, in distress. You understand? Everybody see we in distress. Everybody could see, you understand, we suffering today. We getting killed. Understand? We getting killed today. And so like Officer Shaw change the view, you understand about the question.
Come, sir.
So to what? Most sign class. That's perfect right there. You understand? We understand we're going through everything we've been going through. But in the I.S.U.P.K, you will learn how to direct yourself, how to be, how to follow the Most High, how do you understand conduct yourself. Like, you understand, every one of us, you understand, we know how to conduct ourselves. Why? Because we follow what God says. We follow what the Most High says. We follow what God says. It's your time to follow, you understand? Follow what God says. Do you really want these classes are for you? Then we're gonna talk about Christmas. We're gonna talk about Christmas, right? Why? Why is it necessary to talk about Christmas? Any brothers out there, you know what I'm saying? Want to answer? Why is it necessary?
Salakia, Officer Adiyar, you're breaking up. Akim, can y'all hear me properly?
Come, sir. Salaki,
Why is
Officer
it
audio is breaking up a bit.
so like a present back?
Kai, you're back now.
All right. Why is it necessary to talk about Christmas? Anybody want to go? You know what I'm saying? Go ahead. Matter of fact,
Salakia.
I got sisters. Salakia, I got sisters with me. Understand? I got Sister Patty with me, and also I got Sister, you understand, Jazz with me, Jasmine with me, and Montreal, Canada, right? We got two sisters on me over here watching class live with me right now.
Come,
Most
sir.
High Christ.
Shalom, y'all. Shemal Atham Bashim Yashar.
Thanks, sir. Shalom. Ashmi, go ahead. You can say Allah. Shalom. Salaki priesthood. Shalom. Yahweh, Shamar, Alatham, Bashim, Yahweh, Shai. As well. Understand? So
Most High.
let's get it. Why we got
Right.
to understand to go in this word? Why Christmas? We got to talk about Christmas today.
Salakia.
Go ahead. Any sister want to answer? You understand? Just raise your hand. You understand? So like your priest. I know we do things differently, but we got sister over here. If any sister raised their hand up and everything, I'm gonna have to. You know what I mean?
Con, no sweat.
Acknowledge that. Right. Let's get it. So why do we have to talk about Christmas today? And if you're not talking, have your phone on mute. If you're not gonna about to talk, have your phone on mute or your computer on mute. All right. So if somebody gonna answer, why? Why do we have to talk about Christmas today? Sisters, you're welcome. Raise your hand. Raise your hand. She raise your hand. Come here first.
Because Christmas is not in the law. It's a pagan thing. Pagan holiday.
Pagan.
Pagan.
Let me just get back. I'm breaking up over here.
So like, if I may.
All right. So like, if I'm back. I'm back. Say it again.
I say only Christmas is a pagan holiday. It's not in the Bible. It's not or biblical holidays.
So yeah, did y'all hear?
God.
So Sister Patty say what? Christmas is a pagan holiday. It's not in the Bible. It's not exactly what we got to follow. But you understand? Everything that we follow today, you understand, as Black, Hispanic, and Native Indian, outside of the truth, is gonna, you understand, coincide with Christianity. You understand? It's going to coincide with Christmas. And Sister Patty say it's not in the Bible. It's not in, you understand, what we're supposed to follow. You understand? Can we find that in the Bible though? Like we could say whatever we want to say, but is it in the Bible?
Salakia.
Go ahead, please.
If I could, to exactly to what the sister is saying, I want to pull a precept.
Go ahead.
Officer Trooper Baraka Allah, can you get me Amos 5:21?
Please, you get my precept.
Salakia. Salakia, I think you're muted.
Salakia, Brakia, Allah, you're on mute.
Brakia, you're on mute. Let's get it.
Kawaka, you hear me now?
I can hear you now.
This is the book of Amos, chapter 5, verse 21. I despise the feast days.
Can you read that one more time, Baba Kasha?
The book of Amos, chapter 5, verse 21. I despise your feast days.
Right. The Most High hates and despises your feast days, right? And when it says your feast days, these are the feast days of the heathens, the feast days of men, the feast days that the children of Israel adopted, right? That are not our feast days. The days that Christmas is not Leviticus, the 23rd chapter. Keep reading.
And I will not smell in your solemn assemblies.
The Most High, he's not trying to smell that nasty ham that you have in your oven, or that turkey that you're going to cook on Thanksgiving, right? The turkey that's cooked on Thanksgiving, the Most High doesn't want nothing to do with it. It's not a sweet savoring smell, right? He doesn't like the smell of that disgusting ham. Was that the end of it?
Wakan.
All right, Baba Kashat, Thuadak. That's why we have to talk about Christmas today, because the Most High, he doesn't like it. So okay, I'm gonna pass the class back to Officer RDR.
Come. You understand? And the Most High doesn't love, just like us, and I mean, it's a body, put it in. I said, give it into officer's body, right? Then I said, excellent precept you want to go to. If you want to, you understand, for people that want to follow Christmas, for people that want to follow anything that's out there, you don't want yourself to follow what's out there, especially Christmas. And you know what? God doesn't give a, you know what I mean? God doesn't care about Christmas. Understand? Matter of fact, Christmas has nothing to do with Christ. Christmas has nothing to do with Christ. Was Christ born on the 25th of December?
La.
La'ah, which means no. Who was born on the 25th of December? So like and Christian prophets and the warriors. Don't answer yet. Who was born on the 25th of December? For sisters that are over here. Go ahead,
Nimrod.
who?
Nimrod.
Who?
Nimrod.
Nimrod. Nimrod was born on the 25th of December. Understand? And give a hand to Sister, I mean, Sister Patty LaBelle. Understand? Nimrod was born, you understand, on the 25th of December. You understand? It has nothing to do with Christ. Christ was born, you understand, 25th of December. Christ was born during the time of, you understand, taxes. When do you do your taxes today?
In March.
Say it again.
March and April.
Sister Patty LaBelle again, saying, you understand, you know what I mean? Hey, it's like that's the thing. I mean, like, hey, she winning the prize tonight. You understand? She winning the prize. Understand? But you had a good teacher too.
Yes,
So like she had an audio for teacher. So like but that's it, you understand? She said, you understand? Nimrod was born on that day, which means what? This 25th of December is not the day of Christ. It's not you understand the I mean celebration of Christ. Understand the happy birthday of Christ, whichever how you want to put it. It has nothing to do with Christ. It has to do with Nimrod. Nimrod was you understand back in the day, and you understand you could read in Genesis, and we read about Nimrod and also Semiramis and also Tammuz. You understand? We read about that. That's what it's about. Well, that's what Christmas is about. You understand? What must we do? You understand? As Black Hispanics and Native Indian during this time then. What must we do? I mean, you understand, around these times? We should not celebrate Christmas. We should not celebrate, you understand, the celebration of Nimrod, of Tammuz, of Semiramis. What should we do then?
So Salakia,
Go ahead.
we're supposed to destroy Christmas, right? We're supposed to teach our people that they're not supposed to celebrate Christmas, and as well as like Salaki, like as we don't celebrate Christmas, we teach our people that we're not supposed to. So if you have a family member that's in the world that comes over to your house, they're gonna come to your house. You're not gonna see one stinking Santa Claus in my house, right? And they're gonna be like, "Why don't you have Santa Claus?" And I'm gonna tell them because that has nothing to do with the Most High.
That's right. That's right. And our job as I.S.U.P.K, you understand, members, our job as being priest and prophet of the Most High, our job as being, you understand, under community general YAHANNA is to destroy Christmas, is to destroy everything that we used to know. That was, understand, like, well, you know, I know this, I feel this, and that's what I used to know. I'm gonna celebrate this. I'm gonna celebrate Christmas. I used to celebrate Christmas. La, I'm not gonna celebrate Christmas no more. Why?
Right.
Because that's against the Most High. That's against what God says. But should we do? Is not celebrate what we know. What we should do is not celebrate what we know. but do what we gotta do, which is not understand, uplift the Most High, follow the Most High. You understand? And that's what we're doing tonight. We just like Officer Zabaj say, we're gonna. It's time for us to destroy Christmas.
Right. Salaki, Officer RDI, you're breaking up. And
So like, I'm back. Can y'all hear me?
Khan, we got you.
The white man is the goddamn devil. The Bible says.
Right.
The white man is the devil. The Bible speaker. But you know, said now it's time for us. Now, everything we used to know. Everything I used to know, I destroy it. I lose it. Why? Because I have to know something new. That's why we come in. As you understand, as priest and prophet in the I.S.U.P.K on the coming general YAHANNA. We're not supposed to celebrate Christmas, but we gotta follow what God says to follow. Christmas is nowhere there. Understand?
Right.
Keep on going.
Salaki, what was that you said, sir?
And I didn't give no verse, right? All right, somebody bring me to Ecclesiasticus chapter 32, verse 7. Bible question.
Right, I got that right here.
But to what? Go ahead.
Right. Quick shout out, Officer Urad in the chat. Yahweh Bashim Yashar Barakatah. Salaki, we also got a question that we'll answer in a second, as soon as we finish this verse.
Salakia, priest. Let's give a hand to Officer Urad.
Right.
Let's give a hand to Officer Urad. That brother was with us in Canada. You understand? Because of life and everything, he's down south in America, down South America right now. And you know what? That brother is still tuning in right now. Let that brother be an example for you in Canada. That brother was in Canada with us. He's an officer in Canada. But you know what? The white man brought him, told him, you have to go back in South America. And he's still our brother. You know what I'm saying? He's still with us. And that brother still tuning in. Understand? Even though he's in South America, he might be going through everything that's going through. He's still checking in. He's
right.
You understand? So give a hand to Officer. You understand? You're right. That's the soldier. That's what you want to be. Whatever you go through, be in the truth. What if I go, you understand, in the bottom that I could go through, I would still be in the truth. I would never leave the truth. Let's say they ship me back in the 80s, I would be in the truth. Let's say, you understand, I don't have no more money in my pocket. Nothing else in my pocket. I would still be in the truth.
Right.
Nobody, what happens to you, be in the truth. You know what? That's what the Bible, you understand, asks. That's what the Moses asks. That's what you should consider. No matter what happens to me, I'm gonna be in the truth and I'm gonna follow what God said. Are you able to do that? It's up to you. Us in the I.S.U.P.K, we're gonna do that though. You know what I'm saying? All right. Let's get with Ecclesiasticus chapter 32, verse 7.
Come on, sir.
Go ahead.
This is Ecclesiastes chapter 33, verse 7. Why does one day excel another?
All right.
When
All
as
right. What?
why? Khan.
You hear me?
Khan, I can hear you.
All right. Now, I mean, why is one day except above another? Anybody over here can answer? Not, you know what I mean? Like I'm talking about how many people in my house right now. Like there's sisters in my house right now. Where is one day except above another? Pourquoi il y a, all right, in French, pourquoi il y a un jour qui est par-dessus un autre jour? Non. Speaking French right now, but Pourquoi je peux avoir un jour comme le monde dehors vont dire c'est le jour de ma fête. Qui veut dire le jour de ma fête est plus élevé que n'importe quel autre jour, right? Pourquoi il y a un jour qui est plus élevé que notre jour dans la Bible? Why is it, you know, like, you know, I'm going to speak in English right now, but you know, we have the sister that speak French and the sister that speak English. So why is there a day, you know, Sister Jack? I said, why is there a day that I mean that's above end of the day? Why is there, you know, a day I could say, and there's another day that's just like a regular day? Why?
The true holidays in the Bible, there is no other day most important than
Go ahead, say that. Yako here?
only the holy
Con, sir.
days of the Bible are more important. Holy days,
All right. Well, Yako here? Yako hear what the sister say, right?
Right.
Say it again.
there is no other days like birthday or whatever else who is more important than the true holidays on the Bible.
You know what I'm saying? Give it. Give it. There's no other, you know what I mean? No other days, you know what I mean, that's more, you know what I'm saying, above anything that what God say and what's in the Bible. Why? Why? Go ahead, say.
It's because
What you mean? What you mean by amen?
like so like the holy days that we celebrate here, it's the same holidays that
That's right. That's right. But why do we have to celebrate what God instituted there? What you just said.
because they are the laws and the commitments
That's
that He gave us
That's
before the coming
give,
of
give
Jesus.
a give a hand. Give a hand. Give a hand. Because those were the laws. You know what I'm saying? Keep on reading what you have on Ecclesiasticus. We're gonna see it in the Bible.
Con, Ecclesiastes 33, verse 7. When as all the light of every day in the year is of the sun.
Mm-hmm. So
Verse 8.
every day of it, so like it is. So every day of the year is like the sun. You wake up, you go to sleep, and you wake up again, right? It's another day, right? We live another day and day. Go ahead.
Verse 8.
Mm-hmm.
By the knowledge of the Lord were they distinguished.
Wait. About what?
By the knowledge of the Lord were they
By the
distinguished.
by the knowledge of the Lord that which is distinguished, which means what? There's some days, you understand, that are regular days, and there's some days that the Most High say, you know what? No, la those days are for me. Those days you do this by the knowledge of the Lord. Understand? Christmas in the Bible as a day of the Lord? La. Understand? Christmas is not as a day of the Bible. Christmas has nothing to do with the Bible. So should we, you know what I mean, focus on Christmas and celebrate Christmas? Should we focus on Christmas and celebrate Christmas? La. You understand? Hold on, I'm breaking out of it. Y'all hear me now?
Con, sir.
God. So the sister said,
Come,
yes,
come.
we should not. We should not
Hear you.
celebrate Christmas. That's not of the Bible. That's not of the Lord. I mean, the sister in Montreal, I said, they on fire tonight. That's it. They're all fire. That's it. But anyway, that's it. That's it. So we should not celebrate, you know what I'm saying, Christmas and none of that. Keep on going. Keep on going with the verse of the Christ.
Con, I got you. Ecclesiastes 33, verse 8. And he altered seasons and feasts. Verse 9. Some of them has he Salakia. Some of them has he made high days and hollowed them.
So like a can you go back? So like a
And
can you
some of
go back
them
and talk
has
to
he
me?
made ordinary days.
So like a can you go back and talk you chopping up over here?
Salakia.
Uh,
You want me to read 8 again?
you can't.
Con. Ecclesiastes 33, verse 8. By the knowledge of the Lord were they distinguished, and he altered seasons and feast.
So you are to season and feast, right? Which means there are some days that's about the feast, and there's some days that's not about the feast, right? That's in the Bible. Keep on going.
Verse 9. Some of them has he made high days and hollowed them.
And what? And did what?
Made high days and hollowed them.
What does that mean to all of them? All of the days. What does that mean? Go ahead.
Salakia. When he's saying hollow them, he's basically saying that these days are separate. They're holy days.
Separate. I mean that means they're holy. They're holy. These are the, I mean that's not a regular day. That's what the Most High
Right,
chose. The Most High chose these days. Those days we gotta follow what the Most High says about these days. Understand? There are some days
right,
that's regular days, like every day. You go to work, you understand? You eat, you drink, you go do your, know what I mean, your number two. That's in the regular days and everything, like every day. But you understand, you don't take those days, you understand, like something that you got to elevate. But there are days that the most I tell you, know what I mean, to elevate. Just like you understand, we feast the other day for 8 days with what the white man call anuka. We feast for 8 days. We just feast and have, I mean, barbecues and celebrate, and we drink and we eat. There are some days that the Most High do for us, you know what I mean? So we could party as well, you understand? So we could, you know what I mean, think and reflect. But those are the days that the Most High put. You understand? Christmas is not one of them. Understand? Christmas is not has nothing to do with what we gotta follow. Understand? Keep on going.
Con. Salakia. Some of them he made, this is Ecclesiastes 33, verse 9. Some of them he had made high days and
Hide it.
hollowed
What does
them.
that? Wait. Hide this and hollow them. What does that mean?
Any of the Akim want to answer?
Even the sister over here in Montreal. What does that mean that the Most High made some days are holy and hallow them, special and hallow them? What does that mean? Hallow them. If you don't know what the word hallow means, go ahead and look it up. And go to the verse that we in. Say where you at again.
Ecclesiasticus 33, verse 9.
Verse 9. So go see the word hollow what that mean. Understand?
Authorized. I will look up what it is.
Authorize is so like just I don't want to really take your words. You know what I mean, let's see if somebody else.
Salakia, other one.
Hollow in that.
Salakia, other one. Hollowed is to make holy, to consecrate or to set apart.
So doesn't mean authorize.
Salakia, other one. I didn't hear that question.
Does it mean authorize?
Salakia, sir, did you say authorize?
Does the word hollow mean authorize at the same time?
Salakia, sir, I'm not sure.
Hold on. Read what you had. Read what you had.
Salakia, sir, you want me to read verse 9 again?
I want to know that I mean if the word auto means authorize as well.
Officer Shariwan, can you look up the Zondervan pic in the Zondervan Pictorial Bible Dictionary for hollow?
Somebody spell it. Spell it where we at.
Hollowed is HALLOWED.
All right. So what does that mean? So does that mean authorize at the same time? Because Sister Patty Labelle say it means authorize. So does that mean authorize? Okay. Does that mean authorize? Super
Salakia, other one.
What?
Salakia, I have the definition of the Van Bible Dictionary.
Con.
So does that mean authorize?
Salakia.
Right.
Salakia, other
Salakia, I
one.
was breaking. Officer
I'm not
Shariwan,
sure. Salakia, sir, for Officer Adia's question, I'm just having a tough time understanding. Are you saying otherwise? Does that mean otherwise?
La. See what you're saying. Authorize.
Permission.
Oh, la, sir.
So that's synonymous. Super Barakela. Bring that verse again by the question.
Ecclesiastes chapter 33, verse 9. Had he made high days and some of them had he made ordinary.
All right, you breaking up right now. Officer Zabaji, can you bring that verse back?
Con. Ecclesiastes 33, verse 9. Some of them has he made high days and hollowed them.
And what? And did what?
And hollowed them.
So what does that? that word means, and all of them. You're gonna be stuck over here, you know what I mean, for all night. I can, and I'm working. And Sister Patty said, "All right."
Salakia, Salakia.
So you know what I mean, can we find that?
Salakia.
Right. Auto to auto something. Can we find you understand? You
Salakia.
understand that? Go ahead. You get it, what? All right. And Sister Jazz, right? Sister Jazz got an answer right now. Triple back up. Sister Jazz got the word. Say it again. Say it out loud. Say it louder. Say it louder. To what? Say it to permit. You understand? You understand? The word that you're reading means to permit. So that's a permission. That's of the Most High. Keep on reading, officers of Bible.
Salaki, officers about you're on mute.
Salakia. I thought I wasn't even
All
on
right,
mute.
go.
My bad. And Ecclesiasticus 33, verse 9 at the ending. And some of them hath he made ordinary days.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
And some of them has he made ordinary days.
So God made some ordinary days and some other days. So you know what I mean, some days that He permit, some days that He sanctified. That's the answer that I wanted. That God made some days that is sanctified, that He put holy. There's some days that are holy. There's some days that I mean that God can say like those days are for me in my face. You know what I'm saying? That's in the Bible. But understand there's other days that's just like regular days. And every day that God put holy, understand it's going.
Salakia.
Salakia. What did you say, Officer Adia?
Go ahead. You can go ahead from where y'all left off.
God, did you want me to read verse 10?
Come on, go ahead.
God, verse 10. And all men are from the ground. And Adam was created of the earth.
Right, so stop that. Adam was created from the earth, which means it was created from the bottom. Understand? From the bottom now I'm here. Drake said it, right? Drake said it. From the bottom that I'm here, we created from the bottom. Just like Drake. That's in the Bible. You understand? But what we need to learn is what we gotta follow, which is also in the Bible, which is also in the laws. You understand? And we're not supposed to celebrate Christmas, right? Otherwise, I'm gonna let a video and I mean speak. You understand? Any one of your brothers outside Albania I sent class today.
God,
No, so
All right, let it play for officers about you got it. Let it play.
Officer Shayuan has it.
okay, sir.
Let it play. It's gonna be about 40 minutes and everything that's gonna conclude the class that we have today. But you understand? Let it play.
sisters. Priest and officer 5,000 and done, representing I.S.U.P.K. teaching out of Rochester, New York. Rochester, New York, give some love here. Scripture breakdown class, Rochester Central Library. Make sure you tune in to I.S.U.P.K. Rochester, I.S.U.P.K. Rochester on Facebook and on YouTube for up-to-date content. Any questions? Email isupkrochester@gmail.com, isupkrochester@gmail.com for information, updates, etc. Go to www.isupk.com. God hates Christmas. It's a fact of the matter. Just got out of a interview with a pastor, I can't recall his name, as well as Jabril over at TITHES Radio. We were discussing crime, poverty in Rochester, as well as.
Put your phone on mute. All right, put your phone on mute because we get some reverb. Put your phone on mute. All right. All right.
The issue with regards to homelessness. All these issues are plaguing us in Rochester, in Canada, what have you, because we're cursed, as we all know. What are we cursed for? That's what a lot of people don't understand. People, even in the world, mention generational curses. But I'll say before I start, if you're watching this, smash the like button, share it across all platforms, share it across all social media accounts. Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge. Okay, the home of the truth, the revolution will be televised. All right, we're cursed, but a lot of people don't understand what we're cursed for. Why we're cursed? We are cursed because we disobeyed God, disobeyed the Most High. I'm sitting in this church and I see a ton of Christmas paraphernalia. The topic wasn't Christmas, so I didn't bring it up. What I did mention in the interview to the pastor was that, look, the solution is simple. We have to follow the laws, statutes, and commandments of God, the Most High, the Lord. Whatever you call the God of the Bible. Okay, you have to understand that He has His chosen people, and those chosen people are the Bible. Excuse me, are the Israelites. Sorry, chosen people are the Israelites. All right. And the Lord's name is Yahweh. He wants His children to follow Him. Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 15. But it shall come to pass, if thou wilt not hearken unto the voice of the Lord thy God, to observe to do all His commandments and His statutes, which I command thee this day, that all these curses shall come upon thee and overtake thee. We have to keep all His statutes, not some of the statutes, all the statutes. Let me show you a statute that's about to be broken on December 25th. I'm going to Exodus, holding Deuteronomy 20:15, going to Exodus 23. Right? Because many people don't understand these facts. They surely don't understand these facts in the Christian church, in the Roman Catholic Church. The Lord hates Christmas, and He's against it. It's all in the Bible. Okay, Exodus 20:3. Thou shalt have no other gods before me. Read it again. Thou shalt have no other gods before me. You're not supposed to have any other God before you. Christmas is the worship of the god Saturn. People don't read, people don't study history. History of Christmas is it was brought to the United States by various European colonizers, primarily by the Roman Catholic Church, the seat of Satan, who got it from pagans. Okay, this is a pagan, this is a heathen custom. This is a custom that has nothing to do with the Bible. The Lord never sanctioned Christmas. Christ wasn't born on December 25th. You are not worshiping Christ as the Savior of the Scriptures is Lord. Okay, He was not born on December 25th. I'm going to go to Luke, the 2nd chapter, to prove that. Okay, all you have to do to a Christian is quote the Scriptures and break it down properly, and he's going to run for the damn hills. Okay, we'll give you that true understanding here in the Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge. Luke chapter 2, verse 1, and it came to pass in those days that there went out a decree from Caesar Augustus that all the world should be taxed. This idiot, not this idiot, this tyrant, much like the tyrants of America, the tyrants of Canada, the tyrants of Rochester and Buffalo, wanted to tax the entire world. That is how America makes its money. That's how America became great. That's how America grew all of its wealth. That's how America is able to build hypersonic missiles and hypersonic defense systems and throw billions of dollars over to Israel every year in welfare checks to strengthen their economy. They're able to do that through taxation, just like the Roman Empire was. America is the daughter of the Roman Empire. Christmas is the daughter of Saturnalia, which also came from the Roman Empire. Verse 2, and this taxing was first made when Cyrenius was governor of Syria. Verse 3, and all went to be taxed, everyone into his own city. Verse 4, and Joseph also went up from Galilee out of the city of Nazareth into Judea unto the city of David. Excuse me. Unto the city of David. All right. Give me 1 second. And Joseph also went up from Galilee out of the city of Nazareth into Judea unto the city of David, which is called Bethlehem, because he was of the house and lineage of David. Quick sidebar, who else was of the house and lineage of David? Christ. The one the world calls Jesus Christ was of the lineage. He was the root and offspring of David, as Joseph was the root and offspring of David. Joseph is the father of Christ. Verse 5, to be taxed with Mary, his espoused wife, being great with child. She's pregnant with who? Christ. Verse 6. This is Luke chapter 2, verse 6. Listen closely. And so it was that while they were there, the days were accomplished that she should be delivered. Verse 7. And she brought forth her firstborn son, and wrapped him in swaddling clothes, and laid him in a manger, because there was no room for them in the inn. Christ was born during the Roman tax season. When do you get taxed? In the dead of winter? When do you get taxed? When there's hoarfrost outside of your window? When you've got to go to your car and scrape the car? Right? Scrape all the mirrors? Scrape all the mirrors? Scrape the windows? Turn it on? Let it preheat like a damn oven? No. You get taxed during the springtime. The Roman tax season was during the same time period as the American tax season. Jesus Christ, Yahawashi in the Hebrew, was born during the tax season, which is March, April, which is springtime if you're in the Northern Hemisphere. This is when he was born. December 25th is not the day of his birth. It's an impossibility. There's no way that Christ was born December 25th. No way, based on the scripture here. But I will tell you who was born on December 25th, and that is the God who Nimrod, who later became worshipped as the sun, as many other men were. Okay? Problem that this world is wrapped up in two things: sun worship and dope. Okay? And the lust that comes with being a sun worshiper, and the lust that comes with being a dope fiend. Okay? Nimrod had died. After Nimrod died, his mother/wife Semiramis, said to everyone, listen, you better keep giving us your taxes. Even though Nimrod died, don't think that he left. His spirit is in this evergreen tree, this giant evergreen tree. And if you don't put gold and silver at the bottom of this evergreen tree, your head's going to be cut off, and it's going to be put on this tree. That's why there's balls hanging from that Christmas tree. Those balls on that Christmas tree at one time were human skulls of the people who refused to pay Babylon tribute. That's what it's about, man. It's about giving the ruling class your money. And that's what Christmas is about. Giving the ruling class your money. It's a commercial holiday, just like it's always been. However, it is also the worship of another God, which you're not allowed to do. You're not allowed to partake in. Jesus wasn't born December 25th. Okay? I was just in an interview in a church, and I'm mentioning we need to follow law, statutes, commandments of the Bible. And I was like, as Christmas ornaments line the damn table. Now, our people don't understand that we are being punished because we refuse to keep the law, statutes, and commandments. I also mentioned in that interview that the steps that we need to take, right, in order to lift ourselves from this curse, many of us don't want to take. Many of us do not want to take. Okay? They agreed, even though there's Christmas trees in there. But no worries. They have the information. They can learn the truth in I.S.U.P.K. All right? Christmas has nothing to do with God. And anyone teaching you to celebrate Christmas is teaching you a horrible, horrible lesson. It's a terrible lesson. It's a terrible lesson to teach the children. Another aspect of these American holidays, let me get Proverbs 22:6. Holding everything, pulling scriptures left, right, and center. Bear with me. Let's go to Proverbs 22:6. Another thing people don't understand. Many parents across many years have never understood why when their child gets to a certain age, the child doesn't respect them, the child bucks up at them, the child lies to them, the child hides things from them. Your children are that way, most likely, because you taught them to be that way. How did you teach them to be that way? You taught them to be that way by lying to them when they were children. You told them Santa was real. You told them that in Rochester, in the slums, in Regent Park of Toronto, right, in Montreal Nord with a fat white man who's going to come down your non-existent chimney and eat milk and cookies. And he's going to leave a gift. And that child grows to a certain age and is no longer so naive and childish. They begin to understand that there is no man running through the sky on the chimney, or running through the sky with reindeer. The reindeer didn't deliver it. Jeff Bezos is delivering the Christmas gifts. That's who's delivering the gifts. Delivery boy. Okay? And he's taking the money to go up into outer space and do backflips and take a dump 20 miles above, 300 miles, whatever, above the Earth's surface. That's what he's taking with the stupid Christmas money. And we blow. We don't have the money to blow. We blow anyway. We're teaching our children to lie. And then, what do our children do? Our children lie to us. We're teaching our daughters a horrible lesson. You're teaching a woman a terrible lesson. And no matter what she does, no matter how she acts, she's going to be rewarded on this certain day. She's going to be rewarded because it is custom to do. He has to spend on me. He has to buy things for me. There's nothing wrong with buying for a woman or providing for a woman financially. That's all I'm saying. What I am saying is negating a woman's behavior and just giving her things because she's a woman is teaching her a horrible lesson. Okay? It's teaching children a horrible lesson. Proverbs 22:6. Train up a child in the way he should go. You're supposed to train your children up. Everything you do with your children should be training them on how they should go. All of you tuning in, including myself, if Christ doesn't return, we'll be alive maybe for another 65 years, 70 years, some of us less. Okay? 50 years, 40 years. And our lasting impression on this earth is what we did, how we conducted ourselves, and how we taught our children. And if you're teaching your children that a fat white man is coming down a non-existent chimney to eat milk and stinking cookies, drink milk and eat stinking cookies, then you are not training your child in the way he should go. He should not go in that way. Because what is he going to do when he's older? When he wants something, when he wants the status quo, when he wants to get his way, he's going to lie. When a woman wants to get her way, she's going to accept liars. She's going to accept high-value men. What's a high-value man? A man that can give her gifts. That's what a high-value man is. I don't know what in West Hill told these people that a man's financial status defines his masculinity. It's paper, which is backed by nothing. The paper means nothing. Yet if you have it, if you have some zeros in a computer, you're more of a man than someone else. That's a damn lie. Women believe that because they were trained based on Christmas. The man with the most gifts brings you the most joy. The man that doesn't bring you gifts, you're upset at. No. He's not a good father. He's not a good husband. He's not a good whatever you want to call him. Okay? Right, and it's Kevin Samuels' show. Kevin Samuels also. Kevin Samuels is a sodomite. Women, particularly so-called black women and Latinas, need to stop taking advice from sodomites. Kevin Samuels, he is the Christmas damn spirit, okay? Believing that if a man has a big enough bank account, he can provide for you. When Kevin Samuels can get his teeth knocked out, excuse me, not that I would do that. Not that I would do that, but any man calling you a high-value man that you can obviously look at and tell, you punch him out, he wouldn't do anything. It's not a high-value man. Because guess what? Currencies are crashing. The dollar's going to be worth nothing. And all that you're going to have as a man is your integrity. This class is to teach you, to give you a crumb of integrity, a piece, a layer of integrity. You stack that up, and then you become a man like fine gold. The Lord's not trying to make high value men. The Lord is trying to make men more precious than fine gold. That's on a whole nother stratosphere. Okay? You're talking about high value currency, you're talking about gold, okay? More fine than that, more precious than that. Train up a child the way you should go. If you want your kids to stop lying to you, stop lying to them about Christmas. Santa Claus is the German god Odin, who Wednesday is named after. That's who Santa Claus is. Now, Saint Nicholas was a so-called black man from Turkey. He was the bishop of Myra, or Myrrh, frankincense and myrrh. There was a city named Myrrh, basically, or Myra, I believe, in the, I don't know if it's Turkish or Koine Greek, whatever. And he threw a sack of coins into the window of two sisters who were about to be sold into prostitution by their father because of poverty. St. Nicholas is black. Two sisters about to go off into prostitution. you can damn well guess the race and ethnicity of these two sisters, of these two daughters. St. Nicholas was walking around. He would hate OnlyFans, man. He would distribute them to the poor so that Black and Hispanic women wouldn't think they had to go on OnlyFans and accept a man with a high value in his bank account. And he's got more fecal matter on his rod than a New York sewer. Okay?
Okay.
We would understand these things. I'm not saying St. Nicholas was in the truth. He wasn't in the truth. But as you go further and further back in time, the church, as it's known today, had more of the practices that were closer to the truth, but they began to sell out. Okay, that's who Saint Nicholas actually is. He's a black man in Turkey who freed two poor women from prostitution by giving them money to pay off debts that their father owed. They took his story of a black man, and melded it. This fat guy from Germany, Odin, okay, who also rides on a reindeer. All you have to do is look this stuff up. Odin rides to the sky on his 8-legged Sleipnir, which in America in the English tongue is the 8-legged sleigh. Odin rides an 8-legged sleigh. This is the worship. You worship an Odin.
Officer Shaw, you can clip it right there.
Nimrod, you should be worshiping Saturn.
Right. Let's give Officer Abban a hand. That's a powerful priest and officer of the Most High. Right, Officer 5000 Abban. Right. Hopefully soon, Officer 5000 Abban will be back up in Canada. Hopefully soon those borders will be back open, and that was definitely heavy. Clip that right there. Leave that right there for a second. Right, and we got some precepts for like the next like 20 30 minutes. We're going to bring out some precepts. Throughout it for bearing with us. Right, and that was super heavy what Officer Abban was bringing out, because a lot of people don't know what they do. They just do it. Right. And Israel, we're like sheep. We are sheep. We're sheep that's led to slaughter. You putting that Christmas tree in your house, you're being led to slaughter. You're being led to by someone telling you that you have to love all nations. Right. I'll give you an example. Right. Just a while ago, I was talking to a brother, and he was about to tell me something from the Bible. And what he said was totally off. And I knew it was off. So I told him, listen, we can have this. We can have a conversation as brothers, because I'm not battling. We're not battling at the moment. But the second you say something that's off, I switch to battle mode right away. It's like a light. It just switches. You say something that's off, I'm going to tell you, prove that to me in the Bible. I need scripture on it right now. Right. And a lot of people don't know what they're celebrating. Right. So, and for example, Officer Shariwan, he's about to bring out a precept, right? It's about the Christmas tree, right? A lot of people don't know that this decorating of a tree, it's been around. It's been around for a long time. It's not anything new under the sun, because there's nothing new under the sun. These gods are the same, Salakia. These pagan gods are the same gods. They just keep getting remixed. Right? They just keep getting remixed. Right? Odin is now Santa Claus, as Officer Abban put it, right? That Christmas tree, it once was just Nimrod's spirit. Now it's a Christmas tree. Right, and you go outside and decorate the Christmas tree. Now, have any of you guys ever been to the North Pole? Right, and I say that for my brothers and sisters who are watching us. Right, has anybody ever been to the North Pole? Like, do they know how cold it is? Are there people in the North Pole really decorating Christmas trees? Really going around a pine tree and going to decorate it? Right. So, Officer Shariwan, I'm gonna let you could bring out that precept.
Sir. Salaki Baraki Allah. Can you grab Jeremiah chapter 10 for me, Babak Shah? We'll start at verse 1. Salaki, give me 1 minute to catch up with you. Okay, Con. Let's get the book of Jeremiah, chapter 10. We're going to start at verse 1. Go ahead and read it when you got it.
What kind is the book of Jeremiah, chapter 10, verse 1? Hear ye the word of the word which the Lord speaketh unto you, O house of Israel.
Con. Right? Like, something we got to understand is that through this whole Bible, we're speaking to the children of Israel. We're speaking to blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. Right? Like we heard Officer Bond breaking down beautifully. Like when he met with that pastor or that church, whoever the brother was speaking to, right? Like he let them know this book is about obeying the Most High, right? He brought out Deuteronomy 28 and 15 and let us know, like, we got to keep all the laws, statutes, and commandments. And this is given to the children of Israel. This is given to the Most High's children, blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. You understand? It's not given to everybody. All right, keep reading.
Thus said the Lord.
Thus saith the Lord. This is the Most High speaking. This is the words of the Most High saying, if you're black, Hispanic, or Native American, you need to hear these words, right? This is something important. Keep reading.
Learn not the way of the heathen.
Learn not the way of the heathen. Understand? Like again, like Officer Bond brought out, this is a custom of the heathen. This is the custom of worshiping another god, worshiping the sun god, worshiping Nimrod, who was born on December 25th. Right? Nimrod, like that's a Babylonian custom. That's a custom of another nation. Read that again.
Learn not the way of heathen.
And these are the heathen that blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans are not supposed to learn from. Their ways of life are bad for us. Their ways of life destroy us. We're not supposed to learn their ways. Keep reading.
And be not dismayed at the signs of heaven.
And be not dismayed at the signs of heaven. Right? Black, Hispanic, and Native American, you don't got to be worried about what the stars and the sun are speaking or aren't speaking to you. You don't got to worry about the different alignments in the skies and all these different seasons, right? You don't got to be afraid of those things. Keep reading.
For the heathen are dismayed at them.
For the heathen are dismayed. Like it's a crazy thought that in 2021, a brother or sister will actually look at their what do they call those? Salakia. Horoscopes, right? And they'll say, oh, if I'm Leo, I can't marry a Sagittarius.
Right.
Or I should leave my husband, or I should leave my wife, that woman I laid down with, because my horoscope says we're not going to get along. Some sign in heaven told us that we're not going to get along. So we're just going to throw each other away. This is what the heathen do, right? We're not supposed to learn these customs. We're not supposed to learn the ways of what the Babylonian people were doing. And we don't got to be afraid of all their signs, right? The scriptures say over and over, these other gods, they're vain, they're vanity, right? They have no power. All right, keep reading.
Verse 3. For the customs of the people are vain.
The customs of those Babylonians were vain. The customs of Nimrod and his mother and all the customs they built around his death, right? Those customs are vain. Those horoscopes, they're vain. They're empty. They're meaningless. They're not going to do anything for you, Black, Hispanic, and Native American man. Keep reading.
One cutteth a tree out of the forest.
Come. This
The
is
word
another custom of the heathen. They actually go out to a forest, cut down a tree, Keep reading.
The hands of the workmen with the axe.
The hands of the workmen with the axe. So they go out with their axe, with their chainsaw. They cut down a tree. Keep reading.
Verse 4. They deck it with silver and with gold.
They deck it with silver and with gold. Right? We got songs. Don't we got a song that says Salaki? I was like gold, silver and gold, right? Deck the trees with silver and gold. That's a custom of the heathen. To get all these different gold ornaments and silver ornaments. And to dress the tree up in all these different gold. This is a custom of the heathen. This isn't something that you need to be dismayed at. You need to be afraid of. This tree, it has no power. It's vain. It's empty. It's a waste of your time. Keep reading.
They fasten it with nails.
They fasten it with nails. Right? That's what every Black, Hispanic, and Native American family did last year. And this is a custom that the Most High said not to learn. The Most High said that this is a custom of another nation. This isn't your way of life, Black man, Hispanic man, Native American man. How many people got family members with Christmas trees up in their house, decorated with silver and gold? This is exactly why we're in the condition we're in. This is exactly why we live in the hell we live in. Because the Most High told us not to do these things. Keep reading.
And with hammers that it move not.
Come. That's your Christmas tree right there. That's in the Bible. These heathen customs, they're recorded in the Bible. They've been doing this for thousands of years. And now in 2021, they'd have you believe that this has to do with the birth of Christ. Yet no pastor is going to pull up one verse that says Christ was born December 25th.
Salakia.
Concert.
And it's heavy what you're breaking down, because two things, like you see that and this is something they never want to speak about, right? Every year there's a tree lighting up itself on fire, right? Or the Christmas lights start some type of fire in a house, right? And the family goes through some type of tragedy, and they don't want to talk about that.
So Salakia, sir, if I may, we had just read an article that there was a family in South Africa. They had actually just put a tree up. They decorated it, and then a poisonous snake came out the tree. Right? And this is the kind of foolishness that our people are
priest. Run that back.
Salakia. They had put this tree up. They decked it with that silver and that gold. And then they had a poisonous snake come out the tree.
Deck the holes with poisonous snakes. Good night.
God. You understand? A tree does not belong in your house like that. It is not a smart thing to go out to a forest, cut a tree down, and put it inside your house.
Right.
Right? Who knows what's going to crawl out of that thing?
Right. And that's the Lord right there. Like you put a plant in your house, right? And try to, not knowing it's an idol, and you worship it, and the Lord sends a viper from out of it.
God,
Good night.
God,
And so also Salakia, like what you were speaking on was heavy because there's no record of, like, no one could go in the scriptures and say Christ was born on December 25th. Like our King Yahushua was born on December 25th, and I'm gonna go to Peter 1, and like no one could do that,
God,
right? But when we do look up birthdays in the Bible, we find that every time you see a birthday in the Bible, it results in someone's death, right? I'm gonna get a precept for you in a moment. You can continue, priest.
God, sir. So Salaki Braki Allah, was that it on the verse?
Khan Khan.
God, yeah, Salaki, that's good enough on that verse, right? But read verse one more time, Baba Kishar.
Khan. Jeremiah 10 verse 1. Hear ye the word which the Lord speaketh unto you, O house of Israel.
God. This is something that's so important for our people to understand. This Bible is written to you, black man, Hispanic man, Native American man. These words, all the prophets, all
Right,
the words from the Most High, this is speaking to you. This isn't speaking to the whole world. This is why you see these other nations thriving. You see them having success. You don't see them living on the bottom of a society for the things that they're doing.
right,
Right? Why is it our people live in every ghetto, barrio, and reservation? It's because of how we act. It's because we disobey the Most High. And we got to understand that these words were written for us. And we need to obey them. Right? Salaki officers of body. Was there a verse you wanted to bring up?
yeah, I wanted to bring out Baraki Allah. Can you go bring me to Genesis 40? Officer Shaw, you want to check the back chat?
Come.
Khan.
Right, I wanted to show you that so what I'm going to bring out, this is going to be a cut to every Christian, right? Every baby Jesus in the manger December 25th nut that wants to say that we're supposed to celebrate Christmas because it's in the Bible, right? It's our King's birthday, right? When we go look up birthdays in the Bible, you see that it's nothing good. Nothing good ever happens on someone's birthday. Right, so you could start me at Baba Kashar, bring me to Genesis 40. 1 second, let me catch up with you. Bring me to Genesis 40, and you can start me at verse 19.
This is the book of Genesis, chapter 40, verse 19. Yet within 3 days shall Pharaoh lift up thy head from off thee.
Right. So this is Joseph, right? When he's in Egypt and he's giving he has the gift to interpret dreams, right? You're gonna come across men and priests and prophets in Israel who have gifts to interpret things and gifts to give excellent counsel and gifts of breaking down scripture, right? Keep reading.
And shall hang thee on a tree.
Right. So what happens is the chief baker and the butler are in jail, right? And Joseph is basically telling them, one of you guys is gonna die, right? Jump down to verse 20.
Verse 20. And it came to pass the third day, which was Pharaoh's birthday.
It was Pharaoh's what?
Which was Pharaoh's birthday.
Okay, so this is a birthday celebration, right? This is birthdays in the Bible. Keep reading.
God.
that he made a feast unto all his servants,
Keep reading.
and he lifted up the head of the chief butler and of the chief baker among his.
All right, keep reading.
Verse 21. And he restored the chief butler unto his butlership again.
Right. So just like Joseph said, listen, the butler, you're going to be restored. You're going to get to do your job again. You're going to be a servant again. Right. Now let's find out what happened on Pharaoh's birthday. Right. And you're going to find out why Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, you're not supposed to celebrate your birthday. Keep reading.
And he gave the cup into Pharaoh's hand.
Right.
Verse 22. But he hanged the chief baker.
But he did what?
Hanged the chief baker.
He threw a birthday party and invited the chief baker.
But he hanged the chief baker.
So he murdered the chief baker. You're gonna find out that Christ did not celebrate his birthday, right? If anybody watching, right? If you think Christ celebrated his birthday, just provide the scripture. That's all you have to do. Just provide the scripture. Once you show it to me, it says Christ's birthday was December 25th, 1 AD, like Salakia. I'm gonna rock with it. I'm gonna be like, all right, it's right there in the scripts, right? It's not there. You're not gonna find it because as Israelites, we don't celebrate our birthday. And every time there's a birthday, someone dies. John the Baptist was killed on a birthday, right? That's about it. Christ didn't celebrate his birthday. So we're not going to celebrate Christmas because it's not Christ's birthday. We don't celebrate birthdays. It has nothing to do with our high holy days or memorial days. Officer Shariwan, you got it.
So like in Bracket Allah, can you grab Ecclesiasticus chapter 42 and verse 1?
Khan. This is the book of Ecclesiasticus, chapter 42, verse 1. Of these things be not thou ashamed, and accept no person to sin thereby.
And what's so heavy about what the brothers, the priests, the men of the Lord are bringing out is that Christmas is not okay. Christmas is a sin. The Most High hates Christmas. And a lot of our people, out of tradition, right, the traditions that they've grown up doing, right, thinking about their family members, thinking about gathering with their family, and, oh, this is the only time I can get together with my family, right? These are some of the things we hear in the world, right? You tell people Christ wasn't born on December 25th. This has nothing to do with Christ. But people are still going to say, yeah, but I just celebrated. I'm just going over to eat. I'm not going to celebrate. You know what I mean? I'm just going to get with my family. No big deal. Read that verse one more time.
Ecclesiasticus chapter 42, verse 1. Of these things be not thou ashamed, and accept no person to sin thereby.
We as a people can't be ashamed to correct our brothers and sisters. We as a people can't be ashamed to let people know that they are not allowed to sin against the Most High. It is not okay if you're Black, Hispanic, or Native American to be celebrating Christmas. Right? And we don't need to be ashamed of these things. We don't got to be sitting here thinking that, you know what I mean, we're different and our way of life, there's something wrong with our way of life. No, there's something wrong with Christianity. Right? We got to step up and stand for following the Most High. We got to step up and stand up for his laws, his statutes, his commandments. Right? The Most High hates Christmas. Point blank, period. Like Officer Zabadia said, and he will not smell in our solemn assemblies. Right? Keep reading.
Verse 2, of the law of the Most High and his covenant, and of judgment to justify the ungodly.
Calm. We don't got to be ashamed to correct our brothers. We don't got to be ashamed to correct the ungodly. Christmas goes against the Most High. God hates Christmas. And he will not be with you if you celebrate these things. Right? Drop that, and can you grab 1 Corinthians chapter 10 and verse 2? Baba Kasha. 1 Corinthians chapter 10, 10 and verse 21.
Khan. Is the book of 1 Corinthians chapter 10 verse 21. Ye cannot drink the cup of the Lord and the cup of devils.
Those two things don't go together. You understand? Christmas is of the devil. Right? Christmas has nothing to do with the Most High. You read Leviticus chapter 23 and you'll read all the feast days that we're supposed to keep. All the days that he hallowed, that he set apart. All the days he chose to be separate. All the days he chose the children of Israel to celebrate. And that is not Christmas.
Right.
Keep reading.
Ye cannot be partakers of the Lord's table and of the table of devils.
And you can't be lukewarm. You can't have 1 foot in, 1 foot out. Right? The scriptures say if you transgress one sin, you've transgressed them all. Right? Just because you think you don't celebrate birthdays anymore, but you're not paying tithes, right? Don't think the Most High is with you. You understand? We can't be lukewarm in this truth. We can't be lukewarm when it comes to following the Most High. We can't throw away Christmas, but yet we go home every night and eat some bacon. Right? Read that verse one more time,
1 Corinthians chapter 10 verse 21. Ye cannot drink of the cup of the Lord and not in the cup of devils.
Keep reading.
Ye cannot be partakers of the Lord's table and of the table of devils.
You can't do it. You understand? You can't serve Satan and serve the Most High. You can't serve your oppressor and serve the Most High. You can't worship Nimrod and serve the Most High. Those two things don't go together. Right? Sakia, drop that. Can you grab Proverbs chapter 22 and verse 6?
Khan.
Salakia. Actually, before that, hold that. Grab Psalms. Grab Psalms chapter 51 and verse 5.
Khan. This is the book of Psalms, chapter 51, verse 5. Behold, I was shapen in iniquity, and in sin did my mother conceive me.
God, Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, we were born in sin. We were born in this wicked kingdom. We were taught to celebrate Christmas. We were taught to celebrate all these different holidays of our oppressor. We were taught to worship other gods. These are things that we learn being over here in our captivity, over here under our oppressor, going to these public schools, boarding schools, residential schools, right? Learning all these ways, all the customs of the heathen. These are things that we were born into.
Right.
Which is why what Christ said was so heavy, is that unless a man be born again, he shall not see the kingdom of heaven. You understand? We're not going to get the kingdom if we continue to do these things that we were born into. We're not going to see the kingdom if we continue to celebrate Christmas. Celebrating these customs of the heathen. He told us in Jeremiah chapter 10, learn not the customs of the heathen. Don't worship Nimrod. Don't worship the sun. Don't be dismayed at the signs of heaven.
Salakia, if I may.
Come on, sir.
It like we see that Christmas has nothing to do with the Lord, and we keep seeing it, right? And let's go back to Salakia. Where are we going? Salakia, what city? The brothers, Captain Compassion, and what city were they in when they had to put some? They had to go to ground with some of our own brothers and sisters. Salakia, I remember now, the Kentucky, right? The city of Kentucky just had a terrible whirlwind, right? You keep seeing images of UFOs, right? People keep posting up things where like they're saying like, oh, these jet planes are flying and they see UFOs, right? We know that what the world thinks of UFOs, we know them as IFOs and the chariots of the Most High, right? It's no coincidence that all these UFO sightings keep happening, right? And then there's a major tornado around near Kentucky, right? Where that city tried to come up against 8 brothers, right? It's the Christmas season. A factory that was making Christmas candles was demolished by the Most High. And that's to let you know the Most High, he's not with Christmas at all, right? And it's definitely heavy what Officer Shariwan's bringing in, right? Bringing out that when we think of Christmas, it's a major sin against the Most High. Salakia.
Come, sir. Salakia, Barakiala, was that it on the verse?
Khan.
Drop that. Let's grab one more verse. Let's grab Proverbs chapter 22 and verse 6. Baba Kasha.
Khan. This Proverbs chapter 22 verse 6. Train up a child in the way he should go, and when he is old, not.
Come. A lot of us were born into iniquity. We were born celebrating these feast days. And some of us need new fathers, need new parents, need new fathers, need new mothers. And Christ told us that those who do the will of the Father, my Father, those are my fathers, my sisters, my brothers, my sisters. The only way we're going to get the kingdom is if we separate ourselves from this world. Right? We don't conform ourselves to this world. We change our life. We change the things that we've been doing. Christmas has to get thrown away. You understand? If you're going to be a new creature, you have to stop celebrating Christmas. You have to change the way you think, change the way you act. Like Officer Aban said, we just bit by bit, we just add on to our integrity. Throw away Christmas. That's a start. Don't celebrate Easter. That's a start. Don't celebrate your birthday. That's a start.
Right.
And a year later, you'll be following Lord knows how many laws, statutes, and commandments. You understand? The Most High is looking for men of integrity. He's looking for blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans to follow him, to obey him. And we do that by stop following our oppressor, by separating ourselves from this kingdom, separating ourselves from these other nations. You understand? Read that verse one more time.
So, like, I have a precept to bring up when you're finished.
Come on, sir.
It's the book of Proverbs, chapter 22, verse 6. And when he is old, will not depart from it.
And the way we should go, the way we should train up our children, right? Don't teach them Christmas. Let them know that's an evil holiday. That's a disgusting thing in the sight of the Most High. You understand? I tell my kids all the time, right? Christmas is bad. I got a 3-year-old who every single time he hears somebody say Christmas, he tells them, don't say that.
Right.
He told he heard his teacher say Christmas. He said, you're not allowed to say that. You understand? That's how you train up a child in the way they should go.
Right.
You understand? Men and women who are going to stand up for the Most High and do what he says. You understand? So, Salaki, Officers Abadi, you want to bring something up?
Right. As we're closing out, right, I have a couple precepts to bring out, but Salakia, you raising up priest over here. Listen, Canada is in good hands. Like, Salakia, right? Officer Shayuan, he's raising up priest. Salakia, they're gonna be on the podium in no time. Right, we might raise up some of the youngest officers in Canada. Let's get it.
Let's get it.
You can't say that. Damn right, boy. Damn right. You can't say that.
Okay.
Salakia. Troop Officer Shayuan, get me Isaiah. Salakia, where are we? Isaiah chapter 3. I'm looking for something right quick. We're trying to train up a child, right? Not train up a child. Isaiah verse 3 and 12, right? Because you just brought up train up a child, right? A lot of brothers and sisters, they're not strong enough to train up their child. Their children oppress them. Right now, this is a verse we're going to use for Christmas right now, but it's also to show you that our oppressors are children. Right, our oppressors are children. They want to go out in the middle of the streets and they want to have some big parade and dress up as toys. Right, they want to listen. Salakia, I just happened to be by Young and Dundas last Sunday by chance. Right, this is a thing that happened by chance, and I went inside to a store for a second, and there is a little open space in this. It's basically the area of milestones, right? There's an open space, and they had some devils dressed up as the Nutcracker and tutus, and like these are grown women in dresses that hike up all the way up till it's vertical, till it's horizontal, and you see their underwear, and it's like, what the hell is going on? And it's because our oppressors are children, right? Sparkly things, toys, they make them so like they have a good time. They get distracted off sparkly things and toys, right? But this goes perfect for what you're saying, because you have to train up a child, and once you train up your child, your child is not trying to oppress you. Your child cannot oppress you when you train up your child. Officer Shariwan, you could read Isaiah 3 and verse 12.
Come. So the book of Isaiah, chapter 3 and verse 12. As for my people,
Right, and this is Isaiah. He's talking about his people being Israelites, blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. Read.
children are their oppressors.
Children are their oppressors. Now, what does this mean? Somewhere outside right now, there is a brother he's being told, if you do not buy your child some toy that he's gonna break for Christmas, you can't come in the house. You have to sleep in your car. You can't come in your own bed, and you can't tear fire to your rib, because she's saying that the children need Christmas toys, and the children are crying about these Christmas toys. Keep reading.
And women rule over them.
Right, read that from Children Are.
Children are their oppressors.
Right,
And women rule over them.
those children are crying to the mother about a Christmas toy, and they're just nagging and nagging. She's not strong enough, so she goes to you and says, we need to have Christmas decorations. We need to have a Christmas tree.
Right.
Where this child is just gonna cry and cry and cry and cry, and I'm losing my mind. Read that one more time, Mark.
Children are their oppressors, and women rule over them.
And now some damn brothers outside selling dope to his own people because he needs to go to Toys R Us to get some stinking child, some stinking toy. That child don't deserve that toy. He's been terrible all year long. That's why he's crying to get the damn toy. Keep reading.
Salakia, sir.
Time.
If I may, I've read a couple stories today of people going out, robbing Christmas lights, stealing Christmas decorations, just so they can put some stuff up on their house.
Salakia. Salakia. Confession is good for the soul. Listen, when I was a young man in the world, I'm talking super young, right? I'm in grade 6, right? My cousin put me onto, now don't do this at home, right? But you could take the Christmas lights and smash them on the floor and they make a popping sound. Listen, we grew up in the neighborhood where that popping sound where the brothers shooting their guns off, so we were trying to mimic it. We would go into the area of Bathurst and Lawrence where all the Amalek live, and listen, Amalek has Christmas lights up. So I don't know if you know this. Right? If you go into Bathurst and Lawrence right now, you're gonna see Amalek coming out of the house with Christmas lights up. We would take Amalek's lights, the Christmas lights, and pop them on the floor, right? So when you're telling me people are stealing Christmas lights, I believe you, Salakia.
God.
Right? But don't do that. That is illegal, is stealing, it's against the law. The Most High doesn't care about stealing Christmas lights or popping Christmas lights on the floor. You're not a child. Grow up. Christmas is not of the Lord. Keep reading.
Right.
Oh, Salakia, was that it, Ak?
Oh, Allah, sir.
Keep
oh, my people. Come. Oh, my people. They which lead thee cause thee to err, and destroy the way of thy paths.
Salakia, listen, your pastor is a fool. A straight up fool. If your pastor ever said it was okay to celebrate your birthday, Christmas, any of the holidays that are not of the Most High, your pastor is a fool, and run away from him because he's leading you. Keep reading that. Read that, the last part again.
Come, sir. O my people, they which lead thee cause thee to err, and destroy the way of thy paths.
Right, so they're destroying the way of your path, the right way that you're supposed to go. You're not going now, right? And that's because you have leaders, you have pastors. The pastors are supposed to be the leaders. The imams are supposed to be the leaders, and they're just leading you down to destruction. right? I listen, there's so many people who say we're not Christian, we have a whole nother religion, but they turn around and they can't wait for a Christmas, or they can't wait for a New Year's, right? And all they want to do is have an orgy and get high and be whores in the earth. Slovakia. Right. Officer Urad said white folks' traditions will make an educated Jake fall for their heathen ways. Learn from the authorized men in the I.S.U.P.K. Let's give that brother a hand.
Yeah, right.
He down there. He down there. He down there. Right, an uneducated Jake. He down there raising up his brothers and sisters. Salakia. So we are definitely over the time. Let's see if any of the brothers have anything else they want to bring out.
Other one.
God, we're gonna definitely close out. Officer Shariwan, I'm gonna hand the class over to you so we can close out. You can read the security announcements.
Sir. So, Laki, that's the end of Saturday night scripture breakdown class. Let's clap it up for all the powerful priests, for everybody that came out, for water. We're going to give the I.S.U.P.K security announcements. We're the I.S.U.P.K, start out of 1 West, 125th Street, Harlem, New York. Rule for new brother and sister. When a new brother or sister comes into the school, they're off limits for 6 months. They're to be saluted only. They're here to shed themselves of the world. They need transportation, the teacher will arrange it. After 6 months, if a brother or sister has an interest in a particular person, he or she must get permission from the head to speak to a brother or sister. There's another 6 months in which the brother or sister will court each other. After this 6-month period, the brother and sister will get permission from the head to marry. Tithes, which is a commandment. You can find it in Numbers 18, verse 21, and Malachi chapter 3, verses 8 to 10. Ma'ashra means tenth in the Hebrew. 10% of every penny of any increase the Lord gives you, give to the treasury department or teacher. Priest fund, free will offering for priests, not mandatory. Whatsoever amount you would like. Upcoming holy convocations. We have the Feast of Purim coming up on Monday, the 14th of February, and Tuesday, the 15th of February. You can read about it in the book of Esther, chapter 9, verses 20 to verse 31. If anyone wants to be a trooper in the school, start wearing all black boots, shirts, pants, headband, and scarf. With that said, men of Israel, I'm Majum. We're going to give a courtesy salute to the brothers. Men of Israel, I'm Majum Shabbat. I'm Majum. Barak. Yahaba Shemel Shabrak Atham. Yad Yamatah, Sarah Akwathian. We're going to give a courtesy salute to the sisters. Men of Israel, I'm Majum Shabbat. I'm Majum. Barak. Yahweh Shamar Alatham Bashim Al-Shai. Yad Yamatah. Class dismissed.
Salakia, Officer Shariwan, Bubba Kashad, can you drop the sign out links?
No council.
I'll just play a little music while you drop the sign out links right quick.
Cause I be one west to the death till they bury me. I'm one west to the death, cause I be one west to the death. West to one west. One west to the death. If I could train a dragon, I could dance with a lion. Any climate, and I'm shining like a diamond out of Zion. Been a tyrant, never solid. My retirement's desire, but my dwelling place is fire. Fitting for my attire. If I could aim any higher, I hit the Allah higher. My asylum is in the bottom of bridges and the bottom wobble shaking. Taking the city with a trunk, cause it's one big titty bitch. Ready to get fucked from the front to the back. We never stumble, never lag. When they recover from the Sabbath, we on the streets wreaking havoc, raining terror from above. This is Stamos dripping the glove with those models dripping with blood from the scriptures that you won't double. You really, I'm here to trouble your problems, and I'm a troubleshoot. Rich niggas don't fuck with you, making they people uncomfortable. Usher you to the upper room, truly with the untouchable, fully automatic boss status. 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 I'm here to conquer word is sponsor. Let my sponsor get it on. She got the beauty in the brawn. Booty eating the thong. Wisdom I never pawn. Your bishop raping your dog. The footage breaking it down. So my rule is above the law. Killing these Christians with a cross. Your religion, you're living false. Hostility in your thoughts. So I'm coming through with the salt. Kentucky ain't a what my ship, but what indigenous. We're calling the cross. Taking the scepter off the mantle. Like Moses before the battle. The chariots in the rattle. We riding out while the shallow. You copycats get the gallows. Coming out of the shadow of death. Resurrect the elect. Point west. Automatic boss status. Fully automatic boss status. Fully automatic boss status. Fully automatic boss status. Fully automatic boss status. I face the east when I pray, but it's more west. All this camouflage on me, I'm a war vet. I.S.U.P.K gonna rule, I ain't far-fetched. You niggas won't world peace like Ryan Ortez. Hey, took it and ran with it. The old me had to die